myself and 5 others who are as crazy as I am, are planning to go to the Waddington Range in 1926, period clothing and gear and equipment, and do the same expedition that Don and Phyllis Munday led, following their route the same way they did. And we're going to spend 30 days in the Waddington Range this summer. Don and Phyllis Munday were a mountaineering couple from Vancouver in the 1920s and 30s who went exploring the Coast Range of the BC Mountains. Don was a veteran of World War I. Phyllis worked very extensively with Girl Guides in Vancouver, and the two of them had a passion for the outdoors and for the mountains. Mystery Mountain was the name they gave to a huge peak they saw from Vancouver Island, and they were shocked to see a mountain of that size in the coastal range. They ended up going to explore it, and later it was given the name Mount Waddington. People were very skeptical that a mountain that was 13,000 feet or higher could exist or did exist in the coastal range. Even the Canadian Geological Survey really didn't think that they were correct in their estimate of its size. But Don Munday, who was a very good cartographer, was quite certain that he had triangulated the mountain to be over 13,000 feet. And they went into the range to discover that he was in fact correct. In order to approach the Waddington Range, we have to take a ship up Butte Inlet, which is about 80 kilometers long. And then we have to hike 55 kilometers through the Hamathko River Valley, which is covered with Devil's Club, a horrible, really tall shrub that's covered in thorny spikes. There's quicksand. We'll meet grizzly bears. It's one of the most densely populated areas of grizzly bears in Canada. It will be raining pretty much every day. And we have to cross massive rivers where we'll have to chop down a tree to throw down over the river in order to cross it. And that's just to get up to the glaciers. And then when we get up into the glaciers, we're going to face massive crevasses, possible avalanches, and serac fall, rock fall. And this is what we consider having a good time in the mountains. Because we want to do the expedition the same way the Mundays did in 1926, we're eating only foods that were on the market in 1926. We're packing it in the same way that they packed it, the same kind of packaging. We're cooking it in the same kind of utensils they would have used, the same kind of old Primus kerosene stoves. We're camping out the same way they did. Everything like what was done in 1926. For instance, Eagle brand sweetened condensed milk was on the market in 1926, and they graciously donated to us for our last reenactment cans with the old 1916 logo on them, which we could use to pour into our cocoa and our tea and coffee. The 6 of us who are reenacting can only use 1926 gear and equipment. This is a typical outfit that a mountaineer would wear in the 1920s. Wide-brimmed hat, glacier goggles, a jacket that's made of canvas and treated to keep out the rain with wax and oil, wool pants, and wool puttees to protect the legs so snow doesn't get in your boots, and the boots have tricuni hobnails on the bottom to protect as you're going over snow and ice. This is an altimeter barometer, which would be used to measure changes in the weather and to measure the altitude. This is a carbide lamp that we would use going across the glaciers. You put acetylene pellets in the bottom, water on top. It creates a reaction that causes this to be a torch. And this is a typical lantern we would just use at camp with a candle in it. And this is a typical canteen that would hold our water with a cork top. Climbers used hemp rope in the 1920s. It's static. It's made of hemp or manila and has no elasticity like our modern climbing ropes. People in those days went into the bush with no means of escape or support or helicopter rescue or anything like that. But we will be accompanied by a 4-man climbing team and film crew, and they will have modern gear and equipment and spot and in-reach devices so that if anything does go south, they'll be there to help and support and call and rescue if we need it.